Hello everyone and welcome back to Lady Arcader's Attract Mode. I am DreamTora and I will be your host for tonight. Before I introduce the runner, I would like to remind everyone that we are Lady Arcaders, an all-women's gaming collective. Lady Arcaders welcomes all women in gaming, speedrunners, developers, and casual fans alike. In addition to our cozy private community, we run weekly showcases on our Twitch channel, as well as larger charity events throughout the year. And for our showcase tonight, we have Love Live School School Idol Festival, by Kariohki.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another rhythm game showcase by me. I'm Kariohki. I play a lot of these rhythm games. I also do speedrun some. But this game's gonna be a little special because it is the first mobile rhythm game that I started playing when I started getting into this whole thing. And this is also going to be a special showcase because this game here, Love Live School Idol Festival, which released almost 10 years ago, is shutting down permanently at the end of this month. As you can see, service termination notification. This isn't the end of the Love Live rhythm games, however, as School Idol Festival 2 is launching sometime this year. I think sometime late spring is what they've said so far, unless it doesn't get any delays. And it's pretty much going to be the same game with a new coat of polish over it, same playstyle and whatnot here, just, adding new stuff, new characters, fully, and new stories and whatnot, so, yeah. Love Live. It is a very old series at this point. It is a very rich series and a lot of history, so I will be honestly going over a smidge of gameplay and a lot of series history instead of like a lot of gameplay and a little bit of series history, so a little bit opposite of what I normally do. But I will get this to Expert. I'll be playing all the songs on Expert. There is another difficulty above that called Master. I am not good at Master, so I'm not going to be playing that. There are a few differences compared to Expert that it has, but also didn't exist when I was really active in this game, so I will give a... Actually, turn my volume on. Hello. Alright, now I can hear the game myself. And I will give a countdown for the timer. We're going to start this song, and we're going to go through a set list of, I think it was like 20 songs that I counted out. My cat just tried to jump on my lap. I just shoo her away, I'm sorry. But, alright, so in 3, 2, 1, go. So, Love Live School Idol Festival is a 9-button rhythm game in a semicircle. There are tap notes, there are dual tap notes, and there are hold notes. You have to let go of the hold note at the end once it's done. And every so often, every certain number of rhythm icons or certain time, characters in your team of 9 can activate skills. I have all healers and all timing window increases just to make things a little bit easier on me for not completely beefing it, because it has been... I'm quite rusty on this game, and also with the size of my phone, even though I do have a small phone, this is a bit of a reach for my thumbs to get all the way up to the corners. So, Love Live. For most people who have gotten kind of into the 2.5D idol music anime genre, you can ask them, like, what was your first one? They will probably say Love Live. For most English-speaking fans, very rarely you'll get someone saying Idol Master. You might hear someone say, like, Bandery, Bang Dream, or D4D, maybe even D4DJ these days, but Love Live is the gateway. Love Live launched in 2010 as the full franchise of the magazine series with features from the actresses and information about the characters, with this being their first song released then. This single did not sell well. There's a story that Mita Emi, who plays Honoka, her parents bought 100 copies of the CD to boost their sales. And there were times when the actresses thought, this series isn't going to go anywhere. We shouldn't get to be too friendly with each other, because they're just going to disband when they find out, when they decide to shut this whole thing down, because it's just not doing well. It's not going to get any merch or anime or anything cool like that. It's just, not going for that. So, things would turn around very soon, though, with the release of their second song. The second thing most people know about Love Live is Snow Halation.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I know this one very well. It's like probably the one well-known thing I know about this series.
Snow Halation was their second single released, and it was a massive hit. For whatever reason, people flocked to the song, people loved the song, it sold bananas, and really put Muse, which is the name of this group, on the map. The name Muse was actually voted on by magazine readers, as is a tradition in Love Live, to submit names for the different groups, different subunits as well, and have the fans vote on them. When they first launched, they didn't even have a name, they were just Love Live. So it was pretty slow going. Their first concert was I believe it was in 2012, so 2 years after the franchise launched. They had their first live concert, and they didn't really have, like, as you can see on my desk, I do have some merch. One of those things is a pen light. Those didn't really exist yet. A lot of people just had their, the standard crack 'em and burn 'em out chemical sticks then. It wasn't for a little while when these branded pen lights became really a thing for the franchise. Now it's just a mainstay. Every single live concert has its own pen light. I own probably 10 pen lights now. I've lost count between how many I own. I think I own 4 or 5 Love Live ones specifically. Speaking of pen lights, one of the major things in Snow Halation, and if you haven't seen it, please look it up, is the transition from the white pen lights to orange during the last chorus of the song. During Honoka, this girl in the center, she's the main character, during her solo. It's pretty impressive, especially you can find the clip from Muse's last live performance, when they lit up the entirety of Tokyo Dome orange with the pen lights. So, now the series was popular. And you know what popular series get? Popular series get anime. The first season of Love Live launched in 2013. And this is the opening theme to the anime. I actually only just finished watching the first season myself because I was watching it with a friend, and it just took us like 4 years to watch the whole thing. It's a very comfy series. It is an older show, so the CGI in it is a little dated, but it's just a good story about these 9 girls who find out that their high school is closing down after the next year, and they want to save their school. And what better way to save their school and get more students enrolling in it than becoming school idols and bringing a popularity boost?
Need to save your school from shutting down? Idols.
And it's a 2-season anime, with the second season being announced in like 2013 at the end of a live concert. Their third one, where they didn't even know that, even the voice actors didn't know that second season was being announced. It surprised them. That's also very good clip. One of the selling points of the franchise as a whole that they really use to advertise things is how the animation, the animated dances and everything, the voice actresses mirror them. So you have this sync between the 2D and the 3D, which is kind of where the phrase 2.5D comes from. It has, just inspired a lot of other series that do the same thing now.
That's pretty incredible, actually.
So Love Live has this. It's called School Idol Project. Is how people usually refer to the first series as School Idol Project, or SIP, or just call it by the group, Muse. It's spelled with the Greek letter mu and then apostrophe s, so it's a little fancy like that, and kind of has that whole the Greek muses reference there. So you know what? Also, popular series also get games. such as this one that I am playing right now. Takaramono's is the theme song for the game, and it used to be the song that always played on the menu when you booted it up. Therefore, it was the first Love Live song that I ever heard. I got into the series by someone on my Twitter posting a picture of Ellie Isa, who is the girl 3 down from the right, and also the blonde little plushie on my desk. And I was like, okay, who's the cute anime girl? And like, oh, it's Ellie from Love Live. I'm like, what's a Love Live? And like, oh, it's this rhythm game. I'm like, okay. I downloaded it, and for a while, my pinned tweet on Twitter was my first gacha pull from this game, where I was like, yay, I got duplicate cards and I can idolize my cards, completely ignoring that my first ever pull, I got one of the highest rarity cards in the game at the time. I was like, ignoring it. But it took me actually a good while to get into the 3D side. I came into Love Live completely on the two-dimensional side. I was into the characters, I was into the stories and all that. It took me a while to watch the anime, but about like 2 months later is when I was listening to the songs on YouTube, and some of the videos they had were the live performances in the playlist, and I'm like, actually, this is kind of neat. I should find out more about who voices all the characters. They were a mix of complete newbies and a couple of sort of established singers at the time. Nanjo Yoshino, who voices Ellie, was the lead singer of the band, of the singing group Fripside at the time. She recently retired from that group. And the other kind of known person at the time was Mimori Suzuko, who voices Umi, and she was in, at the time, the unit Milky Holmes with Bushy Road. You might know her also being in Review Starlight and one of the side bands in Bang Dream, so she is a very popular singer-voice actress. So, 2013, Muse continued through 2014 and 2015, and then in 2015, they announced after their movie had aired that their upcoming live in early 2016, about 7 years ago, almost exactly, would be their final live. There's a lot of speculation as to why. It's not entirely known why. People guess that, oh, the contracts were expiring. People guess that it's just time for them to move on, make room for the second group of Love Live, who we'll be talking about in a short while. And this song here, Bokutachi wa Itoshi no Hikari, is the final song played in the movie, and it's also the final song that Muse performed at their final solo concert in spring of 2016. Very emotional moment. The audience was singing along to the instrumental at the end. And Muse has performed once since then. There was a concert in early 2020 called Love Live Fest, where the 3 active groups, spoilers, there's more than one active group, 2 active groups at the time, 1 other side group, and Muse all performed at this big old festival live, and they performed like 4 or 5 songs or something like that, to tons of applause and everything. And from there hasn't been any more performances from the group as a whole. The voice actresses have their own solo careers. They do still voice the characters, show up for streams every so often, celebrate their characters' birthdays, promote things for the series, but they're not an active performing group any longer. A lot of people did leave the Love Live fandom when Muse left, as they were like, I like these characters, I like these ones. This is also where the term like graduation, because what also in the story itself, spoilers for the second season of the anime, at the end of the second season, Muse, the 2D group, decides to disband because Muse is the 9 of them. And with the third years graduating high school, they can't continue being school idols in the, sense that fits in the story. And that's where kind of one of the reasons why the term graduation has kind of been like, oh, when they graduate, they're just like leaving the group. Alright, we're gonna move on to, actually been playing these all on the B-sides, haven't I? Yeah, I have been. I just noticed that. doesn't really matter, because they just kind of piled in all of the songs that ever existed into the series all at once here and everywhere, just as the game is shutting down. Does this game have as much customization as other games I have shown? Kind of lightly. You can change like the way the tap circles look a little bit. There are multiple levels. There's easy through master difficulties to play. You can change your note speed. You can, when the skills go off, you can change if the characters appear or not. But that's about it. There's not, say, like any item customization. There's not the club customization like D4DJ has. So it's very basic in comparison to a lot of the other games that I play more regularly now. So this song, Psychic Fire, is the final single released by BB, which is one of the 3 subunits of Muse. So another thing they did early on by magazine vote was they voted for how should the characters be split up into 3 different subunits of 3 characters each, and then what their name should be. So you have Prontom, Lily White, and BB are the 3 groups, with Prontom kind of being the cute, fluffy, spring-like, just like their name says, group. Lily White being the kind of a more mature, chill kind of group, and then BB kind of swings between the kind of rock songs, and then kind of also, they're a bit of the meme joke group a little bit, just because they kind of have a couple funny songs in there. I hate those. I call those tornadoes when the notes go all the way up and down like that, because it looks like a little tornado coming out.
Yeah, this is a very unique style of rhythm game. It kind of like reminds me of what's that arcade game with that goes in a circle?
I know my
Is it May May?
Yeah, my the washing machine.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what this kind of makes me think of.
Alright, where is the next song? It's back here. Here it is. So, along with the subunit songs, there were also solo songs released by all the members, between 1 and 3 songs per member. I'm playing Nawatobi because I have a sort of a story about this song. When I was playing this game more regularly, this song used to be a daily song, as all the solo songs and what is known as like the duo trio songs were. So you only could play them for 24 hours and they'd rotate out per day. Something I didn't mention also is that each song takes stamina to play. Expert songs take 25 stamina to play, and then once you're out of stamina, you cannot play any more songs. You have to refill your stamina, which is unlike more modern rhythm games where your stamina only matters for getting more after show bonuses. I keep letting go really early on these notes.
Oh yeah, there was a question earlier in chat. What are the circle notes with the white lines in them?
Those are dual taps, so you can see there's 2 of them coming at once. I have to hit them at the same time.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
The ones with the stars in them do more damage if you miss them. Other than that, they're just the same as a normal note. So, this song is very deceptively simple up until this part right here. It just follows the beat of the lyrics, and then you hit this part. There's one more note. There's one more note. There it is. So that ending section just destroyed me for like a month straight, and I'm just burning my stamina every Thursday trying to beat that song, and I finally did. I played that so many times before I finally finished it. And that's my story about Nawatobi. And why I call it Nawatrolby. Do I have any difficulty with depth perception? Yes, especially because my side vision is kind of awful. So seeing some of the edge notes sometimes, especially when I'm having to hit a double note on 2 different sides of the screen at the same time, can prove quite difficult, especially when there's note spam like that. So the final song in this section about the first Love Live group, this song is actually by a different group called Arise. Arise is the rival group, which is kind of another common thing in Love Live stories, where the main group's going to have rivals. Arise being the first rival group, they're more of a plot device than any sort of active group. They only had 2 songs featured in the show, and they never never performed live with Muse at all. Their actresses are 2 of them are retired. One started a family. The other one, I think the other one worked as DJ for a while. Before she kind of disappeared off the internet and then came back after some health issues. And the third one is the drummer in Roselia in the Bang Dream franchise. And she's pretty much the only one active in terms of, sort of going to Love Live events and talking about the series, but she doesn't really appear in anything. Some people say Arise got treated dirty, but at the same time, when your main group is struggling... Oh, we have a visitor, by the way. You gonna say hi? You come say hi? Yeah?
Kitty.
It's Trash Cat. And he's gonna go away now. Don't do that again. When your main group's struggling, you probably shouldn't try to boost your side group as like a side group as well and take focus away from them. So, as I mentioned before, Muse, they basically went on an indefinite hiatus / graduation / retirement after 2016. The Love Live franchise is still continuing. There was a second group announced in 2015 via the same magazine that Muse was announced in, with an advertisement that just said, "Save us, Love Live," with 9 new girls showing on it. This group also had their name voted on by fans, and it was decided to be Aqua. It's a combination of the word actually aqua, like water, and hours, as they're a group. Aqua moved a little bit faster in terms of content than Muse did, as they got their first live much sooner, they got their first anime season much sooner, their release cadence was much faster for their songs. And there was that slight overlap period in 2015 where they had some music released in the magazine features before they kind of took over as the focus main group of Love Live in 2016. I did not like Aqua when they first launched. I did not like their music. I didn't like the characters. Until a certain song released by a sub-unit that I'll be playing later. And then I really started falling in love with them. For a lot of people, currently in the Love Live fandom, Aqua was their first group. Muse was still a little bit too small, a little bit too underground for the most Western fan bases of these types of franchises to really get into. But the big thing about Aqua is they were also the first Love Live group to come overseas to the US and perform. In 2017, they came over. In 2016, they had a short panel at Anime Expo. In 2017, the full group came over and had a performance as part of a festival live with other groups in it. And then in 2018, they had their own solo live. This is all at Anime Expo over in California. And that probably had my I cannot find this song. I'm in the wrong section. Alright. It is in this section. There used to be an actual separation between hits and B-sides, but they kind of lumped everything together Nope. Nope, this is it. This one. Alright. In 2018, when Aqua came over and performed at the Microsoft Theater for a one-night performance. This song was played near the end of that concert. A group of very dedicated fans set up what is now known as like a penlight project, where at a certain point in the song, they asked the audience, depending on where you sat, please put up a certain color. And doing so would create a rainbow effect in the audience, as it was kind of striped through the things. And Microsoft Theater is like I think it's like 7,000 seats or something, and I think maybe about 5,000 of those were filled for this concert. So you just have people handing out pamphlets on the street for people in the merch line, people in the ticket line waiting to go in. Just word of mouth trying to spread this. And it was successful. It was probably the first major successful penlight project for Love Live. The Korean fans did do some smaller ones called the Kanan Rail and the Yosa Road for 2 other songs, where you do either a stripe down the middle or 2 stripes on the side to do a road or a railway. But getting the entire audience to do a rainbow, and a group of an audience that hadn't really had exposure to these live concerts before, was extremely impressive. And I'd say that is probably my favorite live moment of any concert I've been to. Is that moment when the actresses saw that rainbow form and just went speechless. So, Aqua was doing quite well. They kind of overcame that first hurdle of filling in those massive shoes that Muse left behind them. And they got their first anime season, they got their second anime season. This song is a tie-in to an escape room collaboration they had with a brand over in Japan. Merch was flowing, they were having their lives and everything. And just being a very successful group. They returned to Anime Expo, minus one member who was on hiatus at the time in 2019. For another performance, and also one of the subunits, Guilty Kiss, came to Anime NYC, also in 2019, for a part of a multi-group performance that happened at that convention. Aqua is still active today. Unlike Muse, they have not slowed down. They've slowed down their activities. They've slowed it down, definitely. The music release schedule's much slower now. They don't have as many concerts. They do have one this weekend. Extra Love Live, the White Day concert. They had one for Valentine's Day as well. But they're definitely not the focus anymore. All the members in the group have their own solo careers, mostly in music, some in voice acting. Chika, who's the girl in the middle, she's the leader. Inami Anju, she's mostly a stage actress now. You also might know Komiya Arisa, who plays Daya over here. I hit that note bad when I was typing on Daya's face. She's in the D4DJ project, and also in the Denonbu project. Hello, Trash Cat! He is sniffing everything.
Trash Cat has returned.
Trash Cat has returned. Sniffing everything. Yeah, they're all these actors are doing very well in their solo careers and still helping out with Aqua. And Trash Cat, you need to leave. I'm sorry. All right. Everyone loves Trash Cat, by the way. He's a good boy, even though he has that name.
He's a cutie.
I am trying to find this song. It is there's just a lot of songs. There's not really a good way to what do you call it? Nope. Sort them. It should be by release, and the song should be near the end because it's a newer song. And I am just not seeing it. There's the other. There it is. All right. It's like I know what it looks like. This was their last kind of voted for on. What they also do in the magazine votes is they vote for which character gets to be the center of the song and have like the most lines and the focus of the song and everything. And this was their most recent one. They did 3 years ago now, maybe 4. I don't remember. Time is weird, but So in this one, Hanamaru was voted for the center of the song. So the song's movie is focused on her. She has the most lines. She stands in the center of the dance formation. That's this girl right here. On the third from the left side. So another game that exists in the Love Live universe is there is a PS4 port of the arcade version of this game. It's called Love Live School Idol Festival After School Activity YY Home Meeting. It's very difficult to play on a PlayStation 4 controller because it's got this layout, and people have actually built custom controllers for it based on the arcade version. The arcade version shut down slightly before that home version came out, so unfortunately you can't play that anymore in the arcades because it's not active. If you're lucky, you can import an old arcade cabinet and make it work again. I have a friend that actually bought one of those and imported it over and paid the money to ship it all the way over to this end of the country, which I am impressed about. Yes, it is a very Kingdom Hearts length title.
Love Live 2.8 School Festival. School Idol Festival.
Dream Drop Distance.
Dream Drop Distance.
With Knuckles.
With Knuckles.
And Knuckles and featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series. It's a free game. The PS4 version is a free game. It does have a lot of DLC though to get all of the songs though, and I think it's like an absurdly expensive amount of DLC. So I never really got too far in playing it, also because it's just uncomfortable to play on a PS4 controller. So just like Muse, Aqua does have subunits. Again, three members voted on by the fans, names voted on by the fans. This is Strawberry Trapper by Guilty Kiss. Guilty Kiss being my favorite subunit, and the subunit that got me into Aqua. When this song released, and I listened to it, I'm like, I like this. This song is actually good. Unlike the other, like, 4 songs that existed at the time. No, 6 songs existed at the time. I was like, okay, I like them. I like this group specifically. And then I gave them a chance, and everything kind of went from there. I actually got into Love Live in 2015, when playing this game. So Aqua had just launched, but I actually didn't know they existed until like a good while later when Muse was actually graduating. I'm like, wait, there's another group? I totally just went under the radar for them because they didn't exist in the game until mid-2016, I think is when they got added. Obviously this is the English version of the game. It launched, I think, a year after the Japanese version or so, maybe 2 years after. I don't fully remember because they did start speeding up releases in the English version to catch up to the Japanese version, and eventually the 2 servers did merge about 3 years ago, something like that. I don't remember. But the servers did merge, and there's just the one version now, what is the one ending here. And the last song here in the Aqua section is gonna be from their rival group, Saint Snow. Saint Snow had a much more robust feature between the anime and the plot. They featured a lot more in the plot, and also their two Seiyu also perform live alongside Aqua. You might recognize one from one of my previous showcases, Sato Hinata, who plays I think she plays Leah. She plays Leah, the younger sister in Saint Snow. She is in Photon Maiden in D4DJ. Also unique about them is Saint Snow and Aqua actually have a couple of joint songs as the group like Saint Aqua Snow that feature in the anime as like a story plot point. So at this point they kind of knew what to do with the rival characters, and they figured, oh, maybe we can milk a little bit more out of having other characters and merchandise and stuff like that in songs by having a couple more characters. And I like Saint Snow a lot. They kind of have that kind of rock style that I tend to kind of gravitate towards in these franchises. Because you pull me for what's your overall favorite, most consistent music between all of these things? I'm like Guilty Kiss, Saint Snow, Rebirth, Rondo, Roselia, Razor Sulin. It's like all the rock kind of focus groups. They just make my ears do the happy things.
I love when music makes my ears do the happy things.
Is the PS4 version being shut down? Nope. PS4 version, since it's a home port of an arcade version that got shut down, it's just gonna keep existing. So Aqua, they're not really the main group anymore, so who is? That's a discussion that you might ask some people, and they will say, oh, Nijigaku is the true third group of Love Live. And other people will say, no, the next group that we're going to feature, Liella, is the true third group of Love Live. Nijigasaki is a side group. No, Nijigasaki is a main group now. Hot discussions in the Love Live fandom. Nijigasaki was first announced as Perfect Dream Project in 2017 with a vote to say, so far I've been talking about, there's 9 members in each group. When this game launched, obviously you can't really have a gacha game with just 9 members and, other than dressing them up in a bunch of outfits, which they did, you can't just have that as the base rarity in the game, because that doesn't make it feel special. So the devs and the planners and everything introduced what they call what are called N girls, normal girls, and they're just kind of like filler characters who do have personalities and names and schools they go to, but they don't really affect too much Love Live canon or the plot really. Until the Perfect Dream Project was announced, and they said, hey, vote for your favorite 3 N girls. And people did, and those 3 N girls became characters in what became the Nijigasaki High School Squad Club, along with 6 other characters who were created for this, creating a new group of 9 that were announced as a sort of companion project to be used in the game that released called Love Live School Idol Festival All-Stars, which is a different mobile game than this. It is more of a strategy rhythm game than a pure rhythm game. It's only 2 buttons, and the gameplay all revolves around building teams that will have you survive the songs and the tricks in the songs. The other unique thing about Niji is they are solo idols, theoretically. That was their whole kind of theming, was these are 9 soloists who are just happen to be going to the same school and happen to be in the same school idol club, but they're rivals with each other. They're totally rivals. They have group songs, they have subunits. They're, in my opinion, the whole rivals and solo group thing kind of faltered pretty quickly. Just because you gotta have group songs, you gotta have that. Niji is also unique in that it is the first group to have members added after the first 9. as part of the story in Squella Festival All-Stars. After the end, I think it was after the end of the first season of that story in the game, a 10th member was added. And then after the second season in the game, 2 more members were added. So there are 12 members. Actually, there's 13 members in Nijigaki, because the 13th member is either the player insert character who is the manager of the school idol club, or in the anime that Niji got, is she is a character into herself, and she's still the manager of the club, but she's not like an actual school idol herself. She just manages them and is friends with everyone. Everyone really enjoys her being around. My favorite character in Nijigaku is actually one of the characters added later. It's Mia. It's your little card I have on the table, and she's second from the right here. She is Mia is the first Love Live character to have a song in full English in the franchise. So again, another unique thing about Niji, another first they did, was they were the first group to have a song fully in English. Unfortunately, it is not in this game, or else I would play it because it is very good. So that was another one of their group songs they have, and I'll be playing one of their solo songs, and this one's a little special. So they don't have too many songs in the game just because they were added later and they weren't really the focus of this game. Do they have a lot of English songs? No. There's 2.5, and they're all by the same person. They're all by Mia, because she's the only character with a voice actress who is fluent in English. So this song is Dive. It's Setsuna's 3rd solo, I believe. Or it's her anime. I think it's her anime solo, actually. I lost count of Niji's releases because they came so fast, and I was kind of starting to go out of Love Live at the time when they were really becoming active. This song is special. This character is special because her seiyuu, Kusunoki Tomori, is actually leaving the role of Setsuna, leaving Love Live at the end of this month, actually the same day that this game shuts down, due to some unfortunate health issues that make her unable to perform the live shows. Hi, Trash Cat. You're interrupting me. So very emotional that Love Live is going through its first recasting change in the 13 years that the franchise has existed. This is supposed to be an emotional moment, Kat, and you're just here standing on my keyboard. If anything happens, I'm sorry, the cat was just walking over, like, straight on the keyboard. Thanks, dude. But yeah. Her subunit's her subunit's recent live was her final live. It happened back, last month. Her final stream was also recently. And they haven't announced who's replacing her yet. I just completely missed the end of the song there because I leaned back to make sure Trash Cat wasn't stepping on anything. I'm a dingus. Anyway, they haven't announced her replacement yet. They will soon. They already know who it is. We just don't know who it is publicly yet. Are you happy with yourself, Mr. Cat? Could you please get off my computer? No? Okay. So, in the arguments of which Love Live group is the main group right now, which one is the true 3rd generation of Love Live? Other people say it's Liella. It's this group here. Liella is another unique group in that when they launched in 2020, they had a lot of actually announced open auditions and said they were going to take one person from the open auditions, ended up taking 2 people from them actually, out of the what was originally a 5-person group. And I said, Liella started in 2020. The project was announced in early 2020, auditions were announced, and then everything ground to a halt. And it wasn't until late 2020 that everything was able to kind of re-solidify itself, and the project was able to start properly. Leela has also done what I like to call the any % speedrun for Love Live, and they had their first live extremely quickly after they were announced and formed. They had their first anime season under a year from their debut. I remember seeing the group get announced and merchandise announced the same day. That's how big of a series Love Live is, that they can just do that. It's just an expectation. When you have new characters, your merch comes out, they're gonna get an anime, they're gonna get put into the games, they're gonna get plot, they're gonna get this, they're gonna have live concerts, they're gonna have pen lights, they're gonna have just all that. It's such a big change from 2010 when they didn't know that this project was going to even succeed in the first place. So, Leela started out as a 5-person group. Only the first 5 characters are in this game, as updates pretty much stopped by the time the additional characters got announced for Leela. They're also unique in that those first 5 members were all first years in high school, and they also were not in a high school that was shutting down. They were in a high school that was just newly opening up. I forgot to mention that the plot of Aqua is very similar, where they were trying to save their school with the help of Love Live. Niji, they're not really saving their school because they're the soloists and they don't really, doesn't really matter for them, really. So Leela, their first 5 members were all first years, and when the anime went into the second season, the characters all moved up a year to second year high school, and the additional 4 characters that were added to the group are all first years. So you got 9 characters now, along with I think they had 2 rival groups. The first group kind of didn't really do much, and the second one girl was a soloist who was heavily featured in the second season. And now, as of last weekend, which was their 3rd live, the final stop of their 3rd live tour, they announced that yes, the anime is getting a 3rd season, and yes, they are adding more characters to the group. Theoretically 3, we don't really know how many they're actually going to add, but people are speculating they're going to add 3 to make a group of 12, just kind of like Niji is, and also it ties into some theming with the group, and things like some like constellation theming or something that people have said. I honestly do not follow Leela at all anymore. I listened to their stuff when they were a 5-member group. When they added the 4 other members, I was like, okay, I'm done. I'll just stick with Niji subunit Rebirth and whatever Aqua is doing, because this is getting a little too much. Something that a lot of Love Live fans say is that there's too much Love Live, and I can't follow it all. And you really just start picking and choosing, kind of like the other big juggernaut idol series that doesn't have too much pull over here because of lack of availability, Bandai Namco's Idolmaster, where there's just like so many different groups, you really only pick one subunit to follow. And Love Live's getting like that as well. Leela is the most active group right now. They are getting the most releases. They are getting the most live performances. They are being shuttled everywhere. They actually have a concert this upcoming weekend in Kansai region. I think it's actually in Kobe, at the I think it's called the Mega Vegas Festival, run by the rock group Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I got a couple friends going to that. Leela is also going to be at a live show that I'm going to in May in Japan at Fuji-Q Highland, another rock festival. No, I don't know why idols are in a rock festival when this group doesn't really do too many rock flavored songs, but hey, I get to see them. Leela is not the final group in Love Live currently. There was recently a stage play that happened, which introduced another small group that was only in that stage play. I think some of those songs were available to play in this for a short time, if I remember noticing correctly. And then the newest Love Live group is the Hasunosora School Idol Club, which is a group of, I think it's 6 and their thing is they're VTubers, and they're gonna have an app that you can watch them do streams and participate in things on. I am very much not following that group. I was like, okay, that's cool. You can go do your thing. Can I get a timer check? Because my timer, I think, says like 47 minutes or so. I can do some more songs if I have time.
Let's see.
There's a lot of songs in this game.
Yeah, it looks like you're about at 47 minutes.
All right, we'll just do a couple more songs then. That is neat. Let's do this song here. A song for you. This is a Muse song. That was actually released pretty late after when Muse kind of had already graduated and kind of mostly finished up with their involvement in the franchise. They were like, hey, we have this song coming out as a celebration sort of thing. Some other games that Love Live has had, along with this one and All Stars and the arcade port, there was a version of this for the Vita that came out as like 3 versions. It had a very, very limited song selection between the 3 versions and unique songs between them, so it didn't sell too well. It's just kind of a curiosity at this point if you happen to find a copy of them. There was also a puzzle game called Puchiguru Love Live, which is a really cute little puzzle game. Kind of like, what are those things called by Disney that are the cute little head shapes of the characters? It was like very much like one of those games that they have. That game only lasted like a year or 2 before being shut down. It just wasn't bringing in the big bucks like the Rhythm Gacha game was.
Trying to think of what Disney thing you're referring to, because it's like they've come up with so many different like random collectibles over the years that I like have a hard time keeping track of all of them. It's like I know they came out with Tsum Tsums, but that was
Tsum Tsum,
years
that's what
ago.
it was. There was a Tsum
Oh,
Tsum
okay.
puzzle game, I believe, that played very similar to Puchiguru, where you tap on them and you have them grouped together and they clear more and stuff like that. Very similar to that. Let's do an Azalea song. Sure, why not? Something I didn't explain about this game specifically is you've seen me switching teams to match the, like, every song has a color, either pink, blue, or green. Those are the 3 attributes in this game. And if you play a song with a matching attribute to your team, or you play a team that matches the attribute of the song, you get a better score. So it's just kind of out, you don't really have to, it's just out of habit that I keep switching them. Back from my days when I would actually play this game regularly, they did used to run like events to get new cards and have like score tiers in, like pretty much every other Rhythm Gacha game does, so you can flex like that. I used to play that very regularly. I used to play actually both servers on the events until I kind of got burnt out and stopped playing. I stopped playing this regularly back in 2018 when I started playing the Bang Dream game instead, because that game just felt a lot better to play and ran better, and it didn't feel old and stale like this game was starting to get. They did add a few more things since I like stopped playing regularly. There was a couple new event types. There was this other live show thing. They added some other skills for this other event. Items and stuff to really power level the characters. But yeah, just kind of moved on to newer games. All right, we'll do one more song, and then we'll wrap it up with some gacha pull fun time. I think I saved so much time because I turned off the in-between screens when you clear the show. And when I was timing everything out, I included that in my time. That's why I saved so much. That's how many menus there are. So, I like this song from Niji because the live performance of it is a bit of a meme. It was originally just performed on the carts that kind of go around the arena, and they just kind of stand and sing and wave when doing it. But when Rebirth performed this at one of their lives, they added the choreography on stage is actually a workout routine. And as they're working out, they're just like laughing hilariously, and it's just kind of become a thing for this song now. Niji has a very wide range of just songs in general, from being, between the soloists and the instead of having even subunits of three, they have a group of two, two groups of three, and a group of four that they're broken up into. I've heard this song a lot just from playing it in All Stars, because it was a high point scoring song for skipping over to get event points, because it was one of the only like high difficulty songs that I cleared. Yeah. Love Live. Should you get into it? Yeah, sure, why not? Which group should you pick? Honestly, probably at this point, if you want an active group, I'd say go with Niji. They're the most varied in terms of content. You can, watch all of their anime that's out now. If you want the new and fresh stuff, you can watch Liella. I honestly don't know how much translated content Hasuno Sora is going to be getting, because their app just seems to be locked to the Japanese region when it comes out next month, I think. And Muse has a bunch of content you can look back on. Aqua has a bunch of content you can look back on. It's fun. All right. Let's do some gacha pulls.
Yay, gotcha.
That's a UR card right there. That's a new one. They just give you so many tickets because the game's ending. Why not? Just give tickets. It's also just fun to watch the animations go by. Very nostalgic. Some of those cards are very old art too, of the characters. The first ever art released to the characters. So, yeah, very, very fun. This game holds a special place in my heart of, being the first thing that got me into rhythm games again after not playing them forever. The first thing that got me into basically what is my biggest hobby now is eventing and being a fan of Seiyu and following their activities and everything, and just these music concerts and learning about that. And I've met a lot of good friends from Love Live. I've met a lot of good friends from other franchises as well. And when School Idol Festival 2 comes out in a few months, I will definitely be playing that. And maybe I'll even feature it on this here channel once this come out and there's a few songs and content to show off there. So yeah, I think we can go ahead and call that time here. And I want to thank you for having me once again, having a rhythm game showcase on the Lady Arcaders channel, because that's all I seem to do here. I do speedrun sometimes. I plan to learn some more games this year. Maybe. Because I'm running out of games to submit for things. I'm everywhere on the internet as Kariohki. On Twitter, on Twitch, Discord. I stream sometimes on Twitch, not often. You'll find me more just talking about stuff or like being in other chats or whatnot and watching things. But yeah, thanks again for having me and watching yet another fun rhythm game. It's been a blast, and I'm glad I was able to share mostly this experience, but also the history and just this old little game with everyone here.
Yeah, it has been a really interesting history lesson about Love Live series and where it is today.
Yeah, someone else wants to say bye too. Want to say bye? Yeah, we want to say bye.
Trash Cat.
Yeah, it's Trash Cat. There he is.
Trash Cat.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, Trash Cat.
Trash Cat. Oh, you can come sit next to me.
Alright, that was an excellent showcase of Love Live School Idol Festival. I got it right this time. Before we sign off, we do have applications open for Attract Mode, especially for April. They are open all year round, so be sure to head to the Lady Arcaders website so you can apply, be on our show, just like Kariohki tonight. Next showcase, we'll be having Abby with Fashion Police Squad Any Percent. Be there or be square. And it looks like we do have a raid target, so we will be sending you over there shortly after ending the stream. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. And I hope you all have a good day, night, evening, morning, wherever you are.